It is that time. It is a Thursday Thoughts. It's not quite a Reaction Monday or anything like that. John here, you there, SDH AM. Thanks for coming by, as you always do. And today is obviously the power hour after the hydration break in hour number 2 with Nino and Nico. We got to talk about South American teams with Nino Torres, our friend from FuboTV. And we got to talk about the U.S. men's national team. We got to talk about what happened in Seattle because that's where Niko Moreno is based. Sounder at Heart and Pulso Sports. So we're going to be getting into that in hour number 2. That'll be kind of the review preview section with our pundits that we have on Thursdays. Here in hour number 1, we're going to kind of set the table for you. We're going to go over everything that happened yesterday. We've got a lot of posts from the Haiti match at Atlanta Stadium involving our friends from Haiti and Morocco, and literally we're just going to do like a slice of life thing with that. Abby, glad to have you back. Thank you, Nix. Yes, officially it is a belated birthday. I turned 704 yesterday. I don't look a day over, according to Dylan, I don't look a day over 300. So good for me. And thanks to everybody who reached out and gave well wishes on social media today. It is very humbling when you have the response that you get on all the platforms and you have days like you had yesterday. So thank you again for another lap around the sun and being here with me. We got a lot of Haiti posts that we're going to have, and we're going to have some highlights and some posts and some pre, and we'll walk you through what happened yesterday with all the moments that happened in the 6 matches. And we're going to hear from Wilson Isidore, and we're also going to hear from Dietzen Luicius. And if you don't know Dietzen's story, it basically is that he is now at FC Dallas. And now, obviously, it's like Don Dietzen Luicius when he was born. Now that he's at FCD, it's Luicius Dietzen. So caught up with him in a 1v1 after the match. We waited in the snake in the mix zone. So you're going to hear from Luicius Dietzen. You're going to hear from Wilson Isidore. We've got some written material that's coming up at soccerdownhere.net. Jason's got the post-match wrap available, and we're working on a story on Haiti in and of itself that you'll have posted on the .net coming up here in a bit. So there's all of them things that are posted. And we'll go through all the other matches, Canada and what they were trying to accomplish yesterday, Switzerland standing in their way, Mexico, what they were trying to accomplish yesterday, and they did. But there was a special moment of cool that was attached to it, and we'll get into that. And get into South Africa surprising folks. We'll get into the 6 results from yesterday. We'll set up your 6 possible results today. Obviously, one of them late night, and it is the USMNT and Turkey. And that one will be on the board. We'll let you know what our plans are when it comes to our coverage. Little Birdie told me it's probably going to be something on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta Soccer tonight as a bit of a pregame because we're going to let folks watch it late. So we're going to come on ahead of time, and Jason is going to let some of us come on and say our piece about everything that we've seen so far. So we'll keep you posted on that with Atlanta Soccer tonight, 92.9 The Game in the Odyssey app. But here in the morning, it's about what you thought about last night. We're setting the table. We've got your news, and we'll get you off and rolling for your very, very busy day when it comes to the cup that the world is chasing after. So opening kickoff brought to us by our friends at Black Pitch Coffee and blackpitchcoffee.com. As I get the reader out of the way here, if I could actually move some pieces of paper. Start your day with the most important stories in the game, the right way to start your morning. Black Pitch Coffee, part of the SDH community. Showing up at events all over Atlanta. Try their home blend made with beans from Brazil and Guatemala. Heavy-bodied notes of walnut and semi-sweet chocolate and a rich world-class finish. Opening kickoff brought to us by our friends at Black Pitch Coffee and blackpitchcoffee.com. Okay, so last night you had 3, 6, and 9 were your start times last night. 2 at 3, 2 at 6, and 2 at 9. And so getting into Atlanta Stadium, I feel like I need to have some kind of reverb after that. It was an electric environment with Morocco and Haiti last night. And it was another full house. 68,239 was the announced attendance. And I will give the fans of both squads an ish ton of credit. Before we get into the highlights and everything, like I said, this is just personal observations from yesterday. I don't know how many of you had the chance to watch the match in some manner, way, shape, or form. I don't know how many of you were there in the building to watch said match. Whether you were volunteering or had tickets, our Nick Leafy was in one of the end zones, and he was surrounded by folks. So you had a match that was completely and totally just chaotic. And I was describing it to folks as we were chatting back and forth. I said it was like having someone who was driving a stick and they would skip gears. They literally would skip gears. It would be an idea of you get the green light at the intersection, you're in first, you skip second, you head straight to third gear. And then you gun it so quickly and your RPMs are so high that you can skip fourth gear, you slam it into fifth, and you just keep going. The first 45 minutes were absolutely insane. But before that, even before everything started, the building was fairly full for the anthems. And I will say this right now. I've been in the building for a lot of things. It was one of the loudest, if not the loudest, I have heard that building under any circumstance. American football, professional, American football, college, whatever. It was one of the loudest times that I have been in that building. And I imagine that a lot of folks' watches were probably vibrating and being a bit concerned about what was going on in an audio sense. The anthems come up, and there were more Moroccan fans in the building than there were Haitian fans, but there were a lot of both. I know that there was a lot of concern about Haiti and possible travel from the island coming over here to the United States. But remember, because of the population that is here from both of those, both of those diaspora, both of those fan bases, you were there. And you were domestic, first and foremost. So you had a lot of folks coming up from South Florida. You have a lot of folks here in the southeastern United States. You had a lot of folks coming in to be a part of that match. Because for Haiti, this was it. Hadn't scored a goal in their first two matches in Boston and Philly, losing 1-0 and 3-0. And they come into this match, literally, you weren't getting to the knockouts. So how do you approach it? You could do it one of two ways. You can rotate your lineup. You can get some of the younger guys some experience in a situation like this. You can sit there and smash it and sit there and go, okay, here's what we're going to do. And, result be damned, we're just going to go out there and we're going to do our thing. Morocco had some work to do. They're trying to keep the beat with Brazil. Brazil was taking on Scotland in the other half of the bracket. So building is full for the anthems. And the Moroccan fans, literally, they were a combination of screaming, singing, exulting. I mean, it wasn't, they weren't hitting notes, but they didn't care and it didn't matter. This is the end of the group stage. You're trying to sit there and chase after the top seed in the group, which meant that you had to win and you had to put some numbers on the board. And so the Moroccan fans sing their anthem, and they are crying and they are exulting and they are just blowing out their shoulders from moving all their arms. Then the Haitian national anthem comes up, and it was just as loud from less fans. And the noise in those two anthems, and you're talking probably about 3.5 minutes. The noise from those fans is reverberating in that building, and it is going off of any piece of I'm not going to say wood, but any piece of board that is, supposed to sit there and set up a room and set up a border. It is bouncing off of everything it can bounce off of, and you cannot hear. This is leading into the match. Match hasn't even started. Whistle hadn't even blown. And you're talking about 68,000 people at the top of their lungs showing support for their particular side. It was so loud in that building last night that the way that we were orchestrated in our press section, I was on one side, Jason was in the middle, Maddie was off of Jason's right shoulder. I barely could hear Jason once the anthem started. We were okay in conversing until the anthems hit. Then when the anthems hit, from that moment forward, I had to lean in to talk to Jason. And I sure as hell couldn't hear Maddie, so I had to take my chair, which was on wheels, go around Jason and talk to Maddie basically right up next to her. That was even before the game started. Game starts, and it literally is back and forth. And Ropes is vouching for me here on this. Back and forth this thing was, and I mean, this was like two sluggers at the baseline at the U.S. Open. That's a tennis reference, I know. But literally it is, I'm going to hit the ball as hard as I can, and we're going to have rallies and go back and forth. This wasn't like Wimbledon where you're sitting there and you're trying to manage the grass or anything. This is two hard court sluggers, and they're going at it. And it is back and forth the entire time in that first 45 minutes. Like I said, we'll get into the highlights in a bit. But you end up with an event where I'm fairly certain around this tournament, for matches that quote unquote do not matter when it comes to the knockout phase, you're not going to have buildings that are going to be full. I think the capacity so far to match day threes was at 99.6%. So you end up with a building that is just this vacuum of noise. And it is fans on one side on offense, fans on the other side on defense. Then when they make a stop and go on offense, it picks back up. And it is this way for the full 45 minutes plus in the first half, not to mention everything that was happening in between. And there was something that we stumbled upon in the 200 section. And this is probably more opening kickoffy than anything else. And if anybody in the Twitch pitch has the advice as to how this can happen, let me know. In the 200s, and I want to say it was around section 230, if Maddie had interpolated and she had, got her seats figured out. It's like 230, 232, somewhere in there. In the second level, there was this group, there was a section of fans of Haiti that were probably that took up half a section, probably a 5x10 block. And they weren't sitting in all the seats, I don't think. But this ended up being a band, and they started playing, and they did not stop until halftime. And this was a band in the sense of, and I'm not kidding, you had bongos, and these are the big ones, the big ones that we used to have in band class in elementary school and high school. The big bongos. Someone had brought a big bongo in. Someone had brought some gourds in. Someone had brought, and it wasn't vuvuzelas because it wasn't the plastic and the artificial wasn't that noise. It was pure. It was a more pure noise, a purer noise from the horns that were there. Someone had brought in a hi-hat, and they were smashing that thing in eighths. I don't know how these things were brought into the building unless you cleared it with, security and what have you on the way in, and you got your special papal dispensation or whatever. But you had a band of Haiti fans, and I mean that in the sense of, yes, it was a group, but at the same time, yes, it was a group of folks playing instruments. And they started and did not stop. And when it was realized by the other Haiti fans in the 200 section in the end zone, I think above where Nick was in the 100s. These Haiti fans are in the end zone in the 200s. When the fans from Haiti in the 200s realized that they had a band of their fellow supporters that were playing tunes, and they could pick up what the song was. You started having Haiti fans in the end zone in the 200 level singing along with what the band was playing over in 230 and 232. And then you had more Haiti fans and more Haiti fans and more Haiti fans as long as the chain would continue. When they all figured out what was going on, they were plugged into the band in the 230s. And I've got video of them playing even during a hydration break where you had this combination of John Denver and this band, this makeshift band of Haiti fans playing their songs to their fans, going along with Country Roads. So literally you had Moroccan fans singing Country Roads. You had the Haiti fans going along with the band that was created with their supporters who found a way to bring instruments into the building. More power to you. I'd love to know how. If anybody knows or saw it, let me know. But you had all of this going on in this first 45 minutes. And that was just off the field. It was exhilarating. It was exhausting. It was fascinating. It was off the charts for a game that did not mean anything in the standings for one of these clubs. Fans were there for the first time, probably, at Atlanta Stadium, seeing this team in Haiti, who is in the tournament for the first time in 52 years, 1974. And they let you know it. They were there. They were there to support. They were there to celebrate that their team had gone to where they had gone and qualified for the World Cup. You're going to hear from Wilson Isidore, and you're going to hear from Lucius Dietzen coming up here in a bit. But you had all of this noise in one place, and it was joyful noise. It was support for your favorite club, and it would be ebbs and flows, and you could sit there and picture who was going on and where these noises were coming from, and all of this noise under one roof for a game that meant nothing in the standings for one of those clubs. And in these games, I know that, like I said, there are going to be questions as to how many folks will show up. Last night in Atlanta, it was not a question. It was an exclamation point. And for the casuals, like Nick and Ropes that went in, the neutrals, I'm sure it's an experience that they will not forget. It's an experience I sure as hell won't forget, and probably say the same thing very easily with Maddie and Jason. But to experience something like that in the last day of the group stage, and to continue to anticipate what that will be as we go forward into the knockouts, and at some point we'll go over projections and let you know what we're looking at. But that's what you're getting here in this tournament. Scenes are great in Kansas City in the P&L district. Over 250,000 people so far at Fan Fest for Atlanta at Centennial Olympic Park. You have a city here where we're based that is going absolutely bananas for this tournament. Showing support across the board. I've got pictures all over the place of folks with various jerseys that may not even be vested in the two teams that are playing, but they're going to see a match because they can go see a match. So congratulations to all of you who have been a part of this so far, whether you've gone to a match, whether you haven't, whether you're celebrating, whether you're going to local watch parties and being a part of that, investing in your community and investing in somebody else's community. Shout out to all of you. Last night at Atlanta Stadium, it was a reminder of what this means across the board. Flat out, you guys are awesome. And last night was another reason for that. Opening kickoff brought to us by our friends at Black Pitch Coffee, blackpitchcoffee.com. Starting your day with the most important stories in the game, the right way to start your morning. Black Pitch Coffee, part of the SDH community, showing up at events all over Atlanta. Try their home blend made with beans in Brazil and Guatemala. Heavy-bodied, notes of walnut and semi-sweet chocolate and a rich world-class finish. Opening kickoff powered by Black Pitch Coffee and blackpitchcoffee.com. All right, let's get you into what to know and what to remember. All right, so the match in and of itself was absolutely crazy. And I mean this in the most positive way possible. Because you had all of the action and all of the energy and all of the just the force that was behind it. So we'll start here and we'll work our way out, and we'll get you ready for everything else as we go. So the match here, the two 6 o'clockers, you had Brazil and Scotland, and Brazil and Scotland is another matter entirely, down in Miami, and then you had the matchup here. So Haiti didn't care. They were fifth gear from absolute zero. And you end up with a goal in the 10th minute that turns out to be an OG, and it's 1-0. That's the first goal that was scored by Haiti since June of 1974. 52 years. And you end up with Lenny Joseph was the Haitian player that was trying to brush it behind him with his right foot and brush it into the net as he's running past. The ball's behind him, and he has enough presence of mind, Lenny Joseph does, to sit there, brush the ball, kick it behind him. It goes off of the Moroccan keeper, Yassine Bounou. Goes off of Bounou's back and into the net. And place goes nuts. Like I said, first goal in 52 years, it's understandable. So it's 1-0 at that point. Then Haiti is defending, and the story that's up right now at the .net has a lot to do with Johnny Placide. And Johnny Placide, 38 years old, he told the team at their last practice that this match was it for him internationally. And he was defending between the sticks out of his mind. Some things I don't know how he got to him, but he did. 6-7 saves, I think, in the first half. 39th minute, though, you end up with Achraf Hakimi getting a goal to tie it at 1. And I think it was – so you end up with Hakimi scoring to tie it at 1. Then you end up with one of the goals of the tournament. I don't care. And if this isn't part of the goals of the tournament montage, then something ain't right. 43rd minute, you get this moment from Haiti, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo and FIFA. It's a hell of a strike.
Se viene con todo. Providence. Centro. Balón dividido. La intentaba ganar Isidor. La recupera Haití. Isidor le pegó. ¡Golazo! De Haití al 43. Bombazo. Wilson Isidor. 2-1.
Festejen, griten, bailen, agárrense entre ustedes, todo el pueblo haitiano. La gran sorpresa de esta tercera fecha, de la fecha final de la fase de grupos.
So Haiti has a lead of 1-0. Man, I still get chills with that strike from Isidore. Haiti gets the own goal, 1-0. The building almost blows up then. I mean, that roof that they'd invested in that FIFA wanted to have them try and cover up, they wouldn't have had a problem. Wouldn't have existed. 1-0 Haiti, tied at 1. Isidore scores from 24, and he got to it, and it was a pure strike that got there just before the defender did. Upper 90, far post, forget it. Bounou had no chance. 2-1 there. Then basically coming back down the other way before the end of the first half, you end up with an equalizer again. Saibati scores. Great interplay from Morocco, and so we're 2-2 at the break. I think it was 7 saves by Johnny Placide in the first half. And then Haiti is banging on the door. There's a lot of back and forth. And then you end up with Rahimi, who came in as a sub. He gets the goal in the 78th, and then that means that Haiti is chasing. And then you end up with Yassine scoring in the 89th, and it's 4-2 in the final. So you had a full house that was beside itself, upside down at times, and one of the hottest crowds that I've ever heard in that building. Haiti accounts for themselves very, very well. Get their first goal that they score as a team in this tournament, first time in 52 years. And so after the match, in the mix zone, we caught up with folks. Here is part of the conversation that was had in the mix zone with Wilson Isidore after the match, once again downstairs at Atlanta Stadium.
That means a lot. You know, we did the two first games without scoring a goal. I was tough to accept when you're a competitive guy like me, or I think about Duquesne Snazon, Francis Pirot, Lenny Joseph. It was tough to accept, you know, that we didn't score. Today we scored 2 goals. That we are really proud of it. The emotions were big, but it's still frustrating because we didn't get a point. But yeah, with the generation we have, I'm sure and confident to say that in 4 years we're going to be here again to win our first point in the World Cup.
When you go through this journey, when you think about what it has taken for this team to qualify and then be here, what does this mean for everyone on the squad, and what does it mean back home, do you think?
That means so much for the group. The cycle before us, thinking about some other players who were here before for 10 years. I was watching them when I was more young, and today I know that, for example, Johnny Placide is finishing his career now with the national team. We wanted to do it great. That means a lot for him to be here at the World Cup. He did so much. He started the national team in 2008 or 11, I don't remember exactly. But yeah, the guy who did the work before us, all credit to them. Yeah, and I know that they will stay forever the legend about our national team.
Wilson Isidore after the match in the mix zone. And so when you know of local connections, you're going to wait a little bit. And so we did. And got the chance to catch up with Lucius Dietzen. He was a late sub in this match. He's been on the national team for 5 years. And Dietzen came in, and when did he come in? 67. So he came in for Isidore with 23 to go. And for him, for those of you that don't know a lot of his story, I'll give you the highlights real quick. We're going to have some sound from Lucius Dietzen in some of the other pieces that we have here. But here's the 1v1 that we had with him. Played for Kalanji in the UPSL. Went from there to continue his career overseas. Played for Atlanta United after Kalanji at the same time that he was playing with the twos. Then he goes to Hobro in Denmark. Then he goes to Odense in Denmark. And after scoring 15 goals in 56 matches, he has now gone over to FC Dallas. And he's on the right side for them. And so in the mix zone, someone who came here, Centennial High School, I think, if I remember correctly, in suburban Atlanta. Kalanji, Atlanta United 2 in 2018, national team for 5 years. We caught up with Lucius Dietzen after the match to find out what this has meant to him. And it was a really cool conversation. So here's our conversation that we got to have with Lucius Dietzen.
Kind of full circle here. I mean, you first one in the building as a part of the twos. All of this history that you have here in town, Kalanji, Atlanta United, representing your country. Does it seem like it's been 5 years or, 6 or 7 years since you've done this?
Yeah, I remember every moment since I live in Atlanta, so I know it's probably been 10 years, 7 years, but it's all feel like yesterday because I remember my first game here in Atlanta. I remember spending time with my family, with Coach Bruno, so I remember everything in Atlanta. For me, Atlanta is my home also, so I'm always happy to be back in Atlanta and to see family and some good friends.
You've been on the national team for, 5 years, and you haven't had a home game in 5 years. What's it been like to go through this progression where you've got to do homes away from home? I think you're playing home games in Curacao, basically. And what's it been like for this team and for you to be a part of it, to do something historic for your country?
I think it's a very tough moment, obviously, because we haven't played any home games since for 5 years, like you say. But for us, we saw it as a motivation because we know what the country is going to. There's a lot worse going on in the country, so us not being able to play back home is not the worst thing that going for Haiti. So we understand that, and when we play, we just play as a motivation to hopefully this can change in the future. And one of the goals for us to qualify in the World Cup is it's a hope that the country will get better in the coming years. So we hope that with the World Cup we play, that Haiti can have more peace, and hopefully next year or by September we can go back home.
What would you guys take away as a group about these 3 matches? I mean, Boston and Philly, and then here in Atlanta. The building tonight was off its skis, man. What was it like out there?
It's amazing because we know how much Haitian love soccer, and in Haiti right now, that's all we have, it's soccer. I mean, it's a great country, but with all the things going on right now, it seems like it's maybe one of the worst countries to go to right now. But when one thing about Haitian people, when they're together, they're really together, and they can really have some fun, and they show that they were together with us tonight. And not only tonight, like you said, in Boston and Philly, they were behind us, and that's something that we dream of,
You guys thought about how much this means, not to just everybody here that's a part of the diaspora in the U.S., but everybody back home. Do you guys have that, in the back of your mind about what this means first time in 52 years?
Yes, we have a feeling because we see the video, especially me, that's like, I think if I have to take one thing away from this World Cup is seeing the reaction of the people back home. I think that's the biggest thing for me. So that's something when I see that make me very happy to see how happy the people back home, our friends back home and cousins. So seeing them happy and look forward to every game, even though things don't go away, but they still behind us and still celebrate every day.
Lucius Dietzen, now at FC Dallas, and it was great to catch up with him as he was exiting Atlanta Stadium last night. So that was cool. Seeing what all of this means to Haiti, I think, is it's a part of the larger picture. Yes, wins and losses, if you're chasing after a cup, are important. But in this 48-team field, when you see teams like Uzbekistan, like you see a DR Congo, like you see today, you're going to see a Curacao having made their way in. You should see a Haiti with everything that they've gone through to get to this point. That, to me, is part of the storytelling that's going to stick with us probably a lot longer in some circles, unless you're attached to the team that wins the thing at the end. Stories like this are just as important when it comes to experiencing the game, helping grow the game, and sharing the experience with others. So to see Haiti do what they did in match day 3 against Morocco, 15-round heavyweight fight, they don't care. Let's go. And it was just literally, they were just fifth gear from the absolute beginning, and it was a joy to watch and a joy to be a part of. Other matches. In this group, Scotland, yeah, that was intriguing to say the very least. Scotland needed to kind of hang close, and they didn't. It got out of hand. Vinicius Jr. had 3 in the back of the net in the first half. 2 of them counted. The VAR reversal pulled one off the board. 7th, 45 plus 3, 2-0 at the break. Scotland has to chase. Mateus Cunha scores with 30 to go. 3-0, your final. Brazil wins the group. Scotland, we'll keep an eye on them. We'll go to the numbers coming up here toward the top of the hour. And it was Steve Clark had some interesting thoughts that were posted about his response to the Tartan Army. He appreciated them as fans, but apparently, if it wasn't for the team, they wouldn't have made the trip in the numbers that they did. Hey, if we hadn't qualified, I'm paraphrasing. Hey, if we hadn't qualified, y'all wouldn't be here in the numbers you are. Hang on to that quote. The early games were in the Northwest. And like I said, we'll go over Bosnia-Herzegovina, Qatar. We'll go over the U.S. We'll go over everything that's happened in the Northwest when Niko Moreno joins us in a little less than an hour. Canada had the opportunity as a dog, though. They were a dog. They were playing in front of a full house at BC Place. If they could beat Switzerland, they would get the group. Then they'd get 2 more matches at home. That didn't happen. Switzerland was pretty much in control for a lot of it. Goalless at the break is the two teams kind of saw where the other was coming from. 2 goals, 11 minutes apart. Vargas and Manzambi, 2-0 at that point. Promised David on a great goal that was scored. Fantastic pass and settle to get it to Promise David. David scored in the 76. 2-1 your final. So that means that Canada's the 2 in that group. Switzerland is the 1 in that group. Canada has to travel. And there has been a, how do I phrase this? A groundswell of opinion north of the border. And I love all of my friends north of the border. Do not misunderstand. That even if they finished second in the group, they should still be hosting home games. No, it's not how this works. Had you not lost, you'd have 2 more at home. You lost. You don't have 2 at home. Now you have to come to America for your matchups. But there was a prevailing opinion that, hey, we should still be, because we're a host, we should still be playing at home. Then do not end up on the wrong side of the ledger. You end up on the correct side of the ledger, then you should be okay. But honestly, there were some folks north of the border yesterday that were saying because we're a host, we should still be hosting. No. I love you. I love you all to death north of the border, and there are a lot of you. But you didn't win. You didn't win your group. If the schedule was marked out to where you could have a 3 play a 2, if that was how the schedule were to be marked up, then you could do it at home. But that wasn't, I don't think that's how the grid was created. You're a 2 seed. You got to go play a 1 someplace. If you're a 2 seed, then why should you be at home to go play a 1 seed? It's just how it was. So Switzerland beat Canada 2-1. Bosnia and Herzegovina beat Qatar 3-1. Qatar scored another own goal, and I believe they tied World Cup history for most own goals in a tournament. Own goals in back-to-back games, I believe. Then you go to night side, and it was the 2 matches in Group A, Mexico and Czechia. And this one was at Mexico City Stadium, otherwise known as the Azteca. And it was a match where Javier Aguirre, you were wondering, okay, what's it going to look like? You know, is this going to be a rotated squad just so you can get to the next round? Okay, what's it going to look like? Goalless at the break, Chavez, Quinones, and Fidalgo, 55th, 61st, and 90 plus 4. You end up with a 3-0 win for Mexico. But the moment that a lot of folks, I think, were anticipating, since you did not have Memo Ochoa start, and Raul Rangel did in net, would you get the moment that you were looking for off the top? Would Memo Ochoa get that one final start or that one final appearance? Since he wouldn't get a start, would he get a final appearance in the group stage? And the story kind of wrote itself. Memo Ochoa, goalkeeping legend, Azteca, 12 to go. You're up 2-0. Javier Aguirre was like, yeah, I think we're good here. So then you had this happen in that match. Once again, courtesy of our friends at Telemundo.
Y yo quiero seguir y me voy a ir a Chipre y me voy para allá. Y yo le decía, hermano, no pasa nada, ya hiciste todo lo que tenías que hacer. Y mira lo que va a pasar ahora mismo.
Se celebra como los goles de México el ingreso de Francisco Guillermo Ochoa Magaña, que tiene lágrimas en los ojos y que todos sus compañeros saben lo que este momento significa para él. Entrar a la cancha, le pone Edson el gafete de capitán y se le entrega a la cancha del Estadio Azteca, el Estadio Ciudad de México, a Memo Ochoa, que está en el terreno de juego.
Partido número 154.
And that was the entrance of Memo Ochoa. Bart, I know you want to trash talk Canada. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. And obviously, worst case, we can always talk about it on Monday. But Memo Ochoa comes in for Rangel, and you heard that pop, as it should have been. 12 minutes to go. Ochoa comes in for Rangel. He closes the deal. 3-0, you end up with another goal on the board. Mexico wins the group. Mexico had won the group. They finished perfect. They're 3-0. They're off and running. But Memo Ochoa got his moment at the Azteca to be a part of El Tri. One final time out there in front of the adoring fans, but thing wrote itself. Azteca, last match of the group stage. If he gets the start, cool. Hey, we're in control. Rangel has been your starter. Then you end up with 12 minutes to go. You had that sub left up on the board. Memo Ochoa goes, and he ends up wrapping up the match for Mexico as they go on to win. So they win Group A. Then you had the subplot of South Africa and Korea Republic. And this one was in Monterrey, going on at the same time. And you looked at the sheet for Korea Republic off the top, and I will run it down for you. See if you can tell me what's missing here. Kim in net, Lee Yan Bom, Kim In Jae, Lee Tae-seok, Seo Young Woo. That's your defense. Back line of 4. Lee Gi-hyuk, Hwang In-byum, Paik Sung-ho, Hwang Hee-chan, Lee Kang-in. That's your midfield. Playing a 4-5-1. Oh Hyung-yu up top. What name was missing there? Yeonmin Son did not start. So Son Heung-min does not start. Came on at halftime, but he didn't start. Came in for Hee-chan Hwang at the half, or Hwang Hee-chan at the half. Son Heung-min does not start in a decider for you. Hwang Hee-chan does. Son Heung-min comes on at the half. And Tapelo Maseko scores 20 minutes in, 63rd minute. So South Africa, who had stumbled in the first 2 matches in the group, knock off Korea Republic, and they get the Duke as the 2 seed, and now Korea Republic has to wait where they fit going forward. And I mean, after the match, the Korea Republic media that was there was not happy. Post-match presser. It was post-match pressure, actually. Korean journalist asked Young Myung-bo if the squad had food poisoning because otherwise this performance makes 0 sense. Literally, that's what is going on. That was what was asked in the post-match press conference in Monterrey. One journalist asks if the squad had food poisoning because the result didn't make any sense. Don't think the answer was yes, but Hong sat Son Heung-min for the first 45. Brought him in. They don't score. They're 3rd in the group. So that's what happens when you try to gauge opponents and things. South Africa is the 2 seed coming out of that group after the start that they had. Oh, brother. So that was yesterday. South Africa, by the way, a plus 450 on the books. Today, 4, 7, and 10 are your start times. 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We will be gassed up and ready to go in Chambly at 10 o'clock. 4 o'clock, it's Group E in Philly and the Meadowlands, Curacao and Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador and Germany. That's your 4 o'clockers. Group F is at Jerry World. Japan and Sweden is at 7, along with Tunisia and the Netherlands in Kansas City. I want to see what Tunisian side shows up here for Hervé. And then at 10 o'clock, obviously, Paraguay and Australia, they're playing in Santa Clara. Oh, yes. United States and Turkey. U.S. has won the group. Turkey is out. How do you approach this one? It's one of the big questions. You got yellow cards that are hanging. You got players that might need minutes. Mauricio Pochettino was asked this very question. Here's his answer.
Yes, I think it's easy answer for the guys that have yellow card. I think it's necessary to take a risk and then to take another yellow card and be not available for the next stage. And I think that is a little bit a normal and easy answer. That not to play with them from the beginning. And then about the two Christian Roldan and Christian Pulisic. Christian Roldan is we need to assess tomorrow if he can be available. A small issue in his quad, but I think it's evolving really well. This is enough for tomorrow, hope for the next week. And Christian Pulisic is now talking with the medical area, is available. And then we need to decide if it's possible to play from the beginning or be on the bench and have the possibility to play on the second half. That is the situation.
Mauricio Pochettino, when he's asked about it, so they're going to check. It's a daytime decision, match time decision. Is Pulisic going to start? Is he going to be on the bench? How many minutes? The yellow cards, keep an eye on that once again with the lineup. We'll find out what the lineup looks like. Do you sit your guys with yellows? Do you let them get the engine warm, have them go 45? Do you risk it? Probably not. We probably see some different faces. So that's how it's going to be for the United States. But once again, Christian Pulisic, all of the injuries and the niggles and knocks are going to be game time decisions and try to figure out what it's going to be like in the morning when they get stared at by the physios. Juice boxes, by the way. 4 o'clockers, Curaçao's a plus 1,600 going up against the Ivory Coast, who's a minus 588. Your draw's a plus 725. Ecuador's a plus 425 going up against Germany, who's a minus 167. Draws a plus 375. Japan, minus 110 hosting Sweden, who's a plus 340. Draws a plus 245. Tunisia, a plus 2,800. I ain't even touching that. Netherlands, a minus 909. Draws a plus 950. And your 10 o'clockers, Australia is a dog at a plus 333. Draws a plus 129. Paraguay is a plus 175. Turkey is a plus 280. The U.S. is a minus 108. Your draw is a plus 309. That's your juice boxes. So, as Nix was wondering, he was wondering about where things stand. And what we like to do here is go to our friends at the BBC because they have a running tally as to what. Group A, Mexico, South Africa, your 1-2. South Korea, the Korea Republic deals with math. Czech Republic is gone. Group B, Switzerland, Canada, your 1-2. Bosnia-Herzegovina, they are your 3. Well behind on goal difference. And those two, so Bosnia-Herzegovina as the 3, they're in the math. Qatar is out at 1 point. Group C, Brazil and Morocco, you're 1-2. Brazil is up on goal difference. And then we have to go head-to-head first. The head-to-head and then goal difference, Brazil, Morocco. Then you end up with 7 points each. Goal difference to Brazil at 3 more than Morocco. Scotland right now is in the math. We'll go over the math in a bit. Group D, once again, U.S. won the group. Australia, Paraguay, your 2 and your 3. Both with 3 points. Australia right now is your 2. Paraguay is your 3. Paraguay is in the math right now. Group E, Germany, Ivory Coast, your 1 and your 2. Ecuador, still up and available with 1 point and a minus 1 in goal difference, but they have to win today. Curaçao at 1 point. They've got to win, and they've got to put up a heck of a number. Group F, Netherlands and Japan, all even, and are all even. Goal difference is the same. Points are the same. Records the same. Remember, though, head-to-head is first. Sweden is your 3. At 3 points, Tunisia out the door. They have only scored 1 goal. They've given up 9 in their 2 matches. And then we'll get into, Group G, H, and whatever. But right now, Egypt, Iran, Belgium, New Zealand, that's Group G, with match 3 still to play. Spain, Uruguay, Cabo Verde, Saudi Arabia, that's Group H in order. Group I, France and Norway, they're your 1 and your 2. Senegal and Iraq are your 3 and your 4. Senegal and Iraq would have to win their matchups and jump into the 3-point conversation right now. I don't anticipate that in Group I. Group J, Argentina, 6 points. They're in. Austria, Algeria, both at 3 points. Austria is in as of right now. Algeria is in the math. Jordan has been eliminated with 2 losses in their first 2. Group K, Colombia, Portugal, 6 points and 4. They square off on match day last, as do DR Congo and Uzbekistan, which will be at Atlanta Stadium, 7:30 Saturday night. Winner there, if it's DR Congo, they're in. What number? We don't know yet. Uzbekistan needs a win, and they need some help. They need to win big because they're at -7 in goal difference. Group L, England and Ghana, 4 points. England ahead on goal difference. Croatia is at 3. Panama has no points as they head to match day last. As of right now, everything starts today. If the tournament, if the group stage stopped, musical chairs for group stage stops, music stops, and you got to sit. Here's how it is. Bosnia-Herzegovina is in 3rd place, and they're in the top 8 at 4 points. Then you get into math, and then you get into goals scored and all this stuff. Goals scored, Sweden is your 2. Croatia is your 3. Korea Republic is your 4 because they have 2 goals scored and the best goal difference of those that have scored twice. Algeria, Paraguay. Scotland is number 7 of the 8 because they've only scored once. Cabo Verde is at 2 points. If they get a result of any kind, they probably, they get to 3 points. They're in the discussion. They would be above Scotland at that point. Belgium, if they get a result, they would be ahead of Scotland at that point. DR Congo, if they beat Uzbekistan, they're at 4 points at that point. They're toward the top of the number 3s. Scotland is in trouble. With all of the math, right now they are 7th in the 8 slots of the mathers. DR Congo gets a win, they go to 8. Cabo Verde gets a result, and they don't torch their goal difference. They're in. Belgium would be the same way. So the teams to look at going forward: Belgium, Cabo Verde, DR Congo, and possibly Ecuador if they pull off an upset. Anybody gets to 4 points, Scotland is in trouble. Cabo Verde win, Belgium win. Cabo Verde draw, Belgium draw. DR Congo win, Ecuador win. Scotland is in trouble. You got to keep an eye on 4 teams. Can Scotland make it through? I don't think so. That scream you heard was Jarrett Smith. So that's your math that's attached right now. Projections of matchups. And like I said, we go to the BBC for this because they keep this thing running, just to give you some ideas. And when you look at the start time, subtract 5 hours. You're looking at South Africa and Canada on the 28th, Portugal and Ghana, Spain and Austria. The U.S. looks like they're locked in with Bosnia and Herzegovina. That would be July 1st, late night. Or not late night, but 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, July 1st, U.S. Bosnia Herzegovina. The other part of that mini bracket as it stands is Egypt and the Korean Republic. You get out of that when you play on July 7th. Brazil would get Japan. Mexico would get Scotland. I don't think that's going to stick. England gets Cabo Verde. That would be here at Atlanta Stadium. England and Cabo Verde at noon on July 1st. The first matchup of the day on July 1st would be here, England and Cabo Verde. Then the U.S. would be playing at 8 o'clock that night. So July 1st will be busy. Argentina would have Uruguay. Colombia would have Croatia. That's, like I said, BBC has a running table. And that's what it is right now. So that's the That is how it would appear. I know I'm not Mauricio Pochettino, but that is how it would look if the tournament knockout started today. So that's the layout. We'll go ahead and do what to watch, where to watch it, how to watch it, brought to us by our friends at Fanatis, fntz.co/soccer down here. It'll be a pretty easy one. That link is important. It helps them out, helps us out, helps you out along the way. And you get, with Fanatis, a lot of the other leagues, the A and B divisions from a lot of countries in South America. You get TSE with what they're doing with the Argentine national team. TVV out of Venezuela. There is a cable system that we know here in the southeastern United States that if you have the Spanish-speaking package, TVV is available on it. Obviously, we send our love to everybody in Venezuela after what happened and what is still going on this morning down there with the 2 earthquakes, the foreshock and the actual quake. So we're keeping an eye out and sending our love to everybody down in Venezuela. You get all the BNs, and I mean all the BNs, because it is Middle East, North Africa. You get AFCON, you get CAF qualifiers, you get Champions League, you get all of that. You get the European leagues that they have in the Polish league, the French league, and what's the third one? Poland, France, and Turkey. So you get those 3 leagues. You get Libertadores, Sudamericana, Liga 1, Liga 1 Max Pro. You get TVV, you get TSE, you get CDO out of Chile, CDO Plus, all of that at Fanatis, fntz.co/left-hand, soccer down here. So 6 World Cup matches today. On Big FOX, Ecuador, Germany, Japan, Sweden, and Turkey in the U.S. at 4, 7, and 10. FS1 has the others, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia and the Netherlands, Paraguay, and Australia. Telemundo, 4 o'clock, Ecuador, Germany, 7 o'clock, Tunisia, Netherlands, 10 o'clock, Turkey in the U.S. Universo, Curacao, Cote d'Ivoire, Japan, Sweden, Paraguay, and Australia. Fox O&E has all 6. In the women's game on the Plus, Canadian Northern Super League brought to us with Montreal and Ottawa. That's at 7 o'clock on the Plus in the NSLs. Now, I'm going to bring him in because it's time for a hydration break. Brought to us by our friends at Local Vine Beer, Wine, and Liquor. 2 locations in the Atlanta area, Cumberland and on Johns Creek. So we bring in our buddy Nino Torres for a hydration break.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yellow. Soccer down here, fans. Nino Torres with you on this gorgeous Thursday. We're still in the World Cup fever, and we're going to still in this World Cup fever for a while. And that's the beautiful thing. And beautiful stories. I am so happy with this tournament. I am so excited with the tournament. Gotta tell you, Johnny, I was hesitated about the number of teams, right? But they stepped up. Everybody stepped up for this cup, and of course there's always Cinderellas out there. There's always teams that they're not going to perform well. We know that, but we were 10 teams that were going to do bad, 10, 12 teams that were going to do bad. No, sir. No way. No way. You can ask Haiti. You can ask, oh my God, Bosnia. My God. It was just beautiful, man. Exciting.
Yes. And we spent a lot of time on Haiti in the A block this morning because of the Haiti-Morocco match that was here in town at SDH headquarters last night. And that place was bananas, Foster, brother. I mean, it was off the charts.
That goal from Isidore was beautiful, man.
Oh,
what a
banger. Jinx.
Those are my favorite goals.
Woo.
With power, man. Power. That's what I like.
It was all fun. So now I have the list once again. I know what we're talking about, but I don't know what we're talking about. I have the list here, watching it for the first time as I open the document. Topic number 1, star power at its best, Leo, CR7, Kane, and Holland. Proceed, sir.
There's what is this? The what's the word for this? Everybody remembers the 2006 World Cup as probably the most star-studded World Cup in the history of the game.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, and you drop the names. You got Pablo Neves, you got Cristiano, you got the Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Zidane, you name it all. But this cup has all the stars at their best of their abilities. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen that. All the stars showing up at the same time. You know, oh, let's score a hat trick. Okay, I'm going to score a brace. Oh, you score a brace. I'm going to score a brace too. Oh, you got this. I'm going to step up too. It's just ridiculous. It's like they're fighting against each other. You know, in a good way. You know, it's like, oh, come on, man. That guy's doing that. I'm going to do it better. I'm going to prove it that I'm better. And it's just always the only thing that comes up out of this fight is we have the privilege to enjoy the performances at top of the levels from every single star. And you know, I know your team Messi. I know you are your team Messi, and I consider Leo also as the best. But I was Cristiano Ronaldo cannot leave this cup like that. Man. That first game was just horrendous, but not only for him, but for the entire team of Portugal. They suck. The best midfield in the tournament, it was playing like, I don't know, third division in Iowa, brother.
Wow.
Okay? That's how bad they played. All right?
Third division.
It was just horrendous. You know, Vitinha sitting right next to the goalie. I'm like, what are you doing, brother? What are you doing? Anyway, so the next game, you know, I think that conversation in the locker room, Martinez and Bruno Fernandes, I don't have any proofs, but I have no doubts either that there was a serious meeting took place in that roster, and I don't know who called it. Somebody called it. I don't know if it was Martinez or it was Ronaldo, who the hell it was, but they put the pieces together. I know it was Uzbekistan, you know, there's not a real rival, but you need that. You know, when you saw Ronaldo scoring the goal, bro, like 25 tons of weight out of his shoulder. You see the guy like, oh, finally, it went in. Boom, it went in another one, and another one, and another one. And then that's the energy of striking. That's the energy of scoring goals that comes up to you when you are a striker. It happens to me too. I don't know with a distance, right? But I want folks to understand me, because all the soccer players out there, and I play every single week.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I play every single week, and it's crazy because I play against 30-year-olds. I got frustrated when I don't score, and it's once I score, boom, 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 the energy comes up, and it happens. If it happens to you, it happens to a professional soccer player. Because why? Because we're human beings, brother. We're human beings, and we run by emotions. And obviously, there are people out there, elite players, that they run their emotions in a different way. They train in a different way. You got to train your mind too, but. When it doesn't go in, brother, I don't know about your training, your gurus or whatever, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to get frustrated. But once that ball goes in, the first one, it's game over.
First one, second, and third. Yeah, it was Uzbekistan. That's how I'm looking at it. I want to see him against higher quality competition. Yeah, and who knew that you could schedule games where you'd have Messi, Mbappe, and Cristiano Ronaldo playing back to back to back? Who knew you could do that?
I don't know, brother, but it's a magical idea. It's a beautiful idea. I love it. I buy it all in, brother.
That was just amazing television for me. Who knew that you could do something like that? That was just fantastic thoughts by those that are in charge. But yeah, I mean, it's like you get two, you get two, you get three, and it is must-see television. And I also enjoy how
Vinicius got four. Vinicius got 4 goals now. I mean, everybody.
Yeah. And then you end up with Messi playing the last matches on the last match day. So he gets the most rest of the other two before the last match of the group stage to head into the knockouts. So, who knew the schedule makers could do these kinds of things? I'm just saying.
You can.
It just pops out of thin air that you have these kinds of things. I'm stunned.
And Johnny, the word that was not coming to my mind when I was talking about the star-studded, it was like melancholy about the 2006 World Cup.
Yes. Topic number 2. Penalties. Not welcome this time versus 2022. The numbers have dramatically dropped. Yes, they have. So is that something along the lines of what the officials have been given as a mandate? Have the folks with whistles and flags been given mandates?
I have no doubt that there's a rule, man. There's an order. I don't want to see tricky penalties. I don't want to see it unless you broke the leg of that guy. It's not a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see blood before I see a penalty. All right. If there's no blood, no penalty. All right. Yeah, it's like I feel like I'm in a street fight, in a street soccer.
Yeah.
That's how it is. And the numbers are crazy, Johnny. I got the numbers here to back this up, right? At this point in the competition in the previous World Cup, there were 14 penalties called. 14.
Okay.
You know how many we got this year?
3.
We got 7.
7. Okay. So they're half.
I was thinking about that too. That like 3 or not, because I didn't recall it. But we got 7.
Okay.
And in the total amount of penalties in the last World Cup, 23.
Okay.
23 penalties were called in the previous World Cup, but it's a statement, it's a rule, it's a mandate, it's whatever you want to call it, but it's
competition.
It's competition, but there were ridiculous penalties, like the one in the England game versus Ghana. Huh?
How do you hip check a dude inside the 18 and you get this? You literally hip check for England to get away with that one, and then for Jordan Pickford not to get a red for his contact.
It just weird. And of course, Carlos Queiroz was beautiful. He was great.
They're out for a coffee.
Oh, guys, you were having some coffee or something?
Carlos Queiroz, yeah. Carlos Queiroz, by the way, never met a microphone he didn't like. But yeah, was VAR out for a coffee or something? Probably. Yeah, well, I'm just
I think he said, I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding, VAR. I'm just kidding.
He put the patch right away, man. But it was great. It was just great.
So we'll keep an eye on that. So 23 down to 14 and 7. So 14 and 7, the two numbers that we need to pay attention to right now.
And the only penalty that was missed was by Leo.
Yeah, I know. See?
The only one.
So dude is actually human. Topic number 3, the 200 Club and the 3 illustrious members. What you got here?
Do you know the club? You know who they are?
Well, I know one of them is Modric, considering what happened last time. His last match, he ended up at number 200. Who are the other two?
The other two are the two kings. It's Cristiano with 230 matches.
Yeah.
And Leo with 200 matches with Argentina. This is an elite club. There's another member. It has I forgot his name, Butomo, something like that. There's only 4 guys with 200 caps or more in the history of the game. You pulling that list, right, Johnny? Please, because I don't remember the guy, Mbutu and Bumbulumu, something like that. I forgot his name.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
But yeah, it's an elite club, and this was unheard of years ago. When a player reached 100 caps, that was just longevity at their best. But now 200, it's just insane.
Mm-hmm.
The change now in the game, how the athletes prepare, and all these numerous ways of keep you younger in a way.
Yeah.
No, they got that those recovery pants. You see that you put the cryogenic things. Man, it's just crazy. You can play 200 matches. You can. It's just, and now with all this technology and the food and the nutrition and everything else, it makes you know stretch out your career to 20 years, 23 years. Before it was, I want to say 10 years, 12 years. 12 years. I want to say 12 years was the average career of a soccer player. Now you see guys playing well into their 30s, 35, 37, 38, and it's getting more and more of those players. We have a lot of over 35 soccer players, professional soccer players. No, I'm not talking about the Sunday league that you and I play. No. With this, it's the professional game, the elite game. You got to look at mothers playing at 40, brother, in AC Milan. It's just you didn't see that before. You didn't see that happening before. But again, it's an elite club, and I don't know who is going to be I don't know who's close to that list right now. I don't know who's 190, 150.
We have your answers. So Cristiano Ronaldo's at 230. Badr Al-Mutawa of Kuwait is second at 202. So, and he retired in 2022. So he is at 202. He'll get passed by Lionel Messi, we think. Messi's at 201. Modric is at 200. Sochin An from Malaysia is at 195, and he was from 1969 to 1984. Ahmed Kano from Oman is at 193. He retired in 2019.
Okay, he's gone.
Hassan Al-Haidos from Qatar is at 188. So he is still active. And
okay.
So, you know, I don't know how many more matches Hassan Al-Haidos is going to have for Qatar, but he is next in line at 188 active. Cristiano Ronaldo, 230. Badr Al-Mutawa from Kuwait's at 202. Messi at 201. Luka Modric at 200. So that's your top four.
Okay. All right. I thought there was someone else, someone from the elite leagues, but no, sir, no.
The AFCON is 2, 5, 6, and 7. Or so AFC is 2, 5, 6, and 7. The CAF is at number 8 with Ahmed Hassan, who froze at 184 when he retired in 2012. The conspiracy theory that might be true if what's going on here? What?
This is it has to do with these things right here. You see these badges, right? I got my Universitario badge. I got my Manchester United badge.
Yeah.
There's the national team badge.
Okay.
That matches the colors of the FIFA World Cup logo. Not the World Cup logo is in black and white, but you see the colors around it.
Yeah.
And those colors match the colors of the badge of the national team that wins the World Cup.
Oh.
It happens in 2014, you know, with the colors of the Germany badge. It happened also in 2018 with the shades of blue for Le Bleu. And it's all in Qatar also matches the light blue and the black, that they are the black and the yellow also. I think it is yellow in the badge of Argentina's national team badge.
Okay.
But that's a conspiracy theory that I don't know. You know about the Simpsons. The Simpsons said that it was going to be Messi versus Ronaldo in the finals of the World Cup. So I don't know. And you know who's the colors they're matching this year?
Who's the colors that match this year?
The Seleção and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, okay. I'll disagree. I'll disagree with the soothsayer on the economist in Denmark on that one. But yeah, keep an eye on that one.
Now you
look
know
at that, look.
the rest of the story.
These conspiracy theories are just.
Yeah.
How do they come up with this, brother? How do they come up with this, man? I don't know. How? You know, to match the colors of the, like, I don't know. But there are people that studying these things, the colors and the signs and the You know, I don't know. I guess.
I mean, dude, you got me. I'm flabbergasted. I'm flummoxed and flabbergasted and otherwise askew mentally on this one. Topic number 5, and this is true, and I will stipulate to this. You don't do something that you can't do. But you say building up from the back is not for everyone, and I would agree to that. You've got to have special folks. You've got to have a philosophy and folks who are comfortable in who they are to build out of the back. You can't do something that you don't know how to do or that you're uncomfortable doing. This makes entirely too much sense. What are you talking about here?
The number of the outrageous number of mistakes, but while building from the back in different games, in different teams, in different nations. We saw a lot. The most recent example is the one from Scotland last night. It was a disaster. A disaster. And then they were keep doing it. Brother, it's not going to work. You got Vinicius, you got Mateus Cunha in front of you plays in the Premier League. What are you talking about? Why are you doing this? Why? And they do it again and again and again. And that's the Premier League's fault, man. It's their fault. And it's Pep's fault. I'm going to bring Pep Guardiola into the conversation for bringing that up, man, to the game.
Building out of the back is Pep's fault now, huh?
It's his fault, man. His fault. You know? Why are you doing this? Why are you gonna play like with John Stones and you got Ederson, you got this beautiful players
because they can do it. McKenna,
they can do it, but it doesn't matter.
McKenna can't. That's the point. I think is that McKenna can't.
McKenna can't. He just can't. You know, the guys from Ghana can't. The guys from I don't know how many other teams that were doing this. It's just ridiculous, brother. It's not for everyone. It's not for everyone, please.
No, it's not. It is not. You are absolutely correct. It is not for everyone.
And it's costing games and lots of goals. And we've seen lots of goals because of teams, you know, pressuring high and reading what they're going to do. And they take advantage of it and they score. And good night, buddy.
Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. Good night. Topic number 6, and it's in all caps. So you had to hydrate before this one.
Yeah.
The Prince is back, and we are all smiling. Wow, you double hydrated here. All right, so what's running through your mind on this one?
Neymar Jr.
Oh, okay, that Prince.
Neymar Jr. I call him the Prince because I call him the two kings, Leon and Cristiano.
Okay.
But he was the last one, the last piece of this puzzle of this beautiful star-studded World Cup. And we were all thinking that he was not going to play, and when he was going to play, and probably Carleto was going to save him for the next round, for the knockout stage. But he stepped up last night, and the entire stadium stepped up for Neymar. He was kind of rusty a little bit, yes, a little bit, but the quality is there, man. The class is there, the magic is there, and hopefully we get to see Neymar scoring goals too. And not only that, right? But when Brazil was stepping up to the pitch, it was Ronaldinho saying hi to every single player from Brazil, and he saw Neymar, and they got a big hug, and that's aura. You know, this word is everywhere now. Aura. Yeah, that's a real aura. Mm-hmm. That's aura that's on a different level. When you bring Ronaldinho to the pitch and you got Neymar and you got Brazil, that's aura, brother. That's aura. And people, they're complaining. I don't know if it's a complaint in the right word, but there's no Jogo Bonito, no Jinga. Carlito Brothers played so much vertical now because he had the people to do it, brother. Why would I want to play in a different way? I got guys that go 150 miles an hour. I want to play fast. And I'm going to hit him. And I'm going to run the transitions like there's no tomorrow. Forget about the speeding tickets. We're not getting that. There's no speed gun here. Okay? I'm going to run as fast as I can. You can't stop me.
So you're saying Brazil is running the cannonball run is basically what you're saying. They're trying to get from one coast to the other as quickly as humanly possible.
Boom, brother. They got the people to do it. Yeah. Rafinha is lining fast. Vinicius is lining fast. You got Mateus Cunha also. You got the people to do it. They can run. I can run fast with the ball. and without.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And so Neymar and this is Burt Reynolds, I guess. So you get the mustache and everything. So Brazil,
yeah, he's just gonna do, throw some Vaselines in there, the chip balls. He's gonna do the magic.
of course.
He's not gonna run. No.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see the story about the witch doctor that said he put the curse on Harry Kane?
What? No.
Yeah, before the last match, there's a witch doctor in Ghana who said he put a curse on Harry Kane, not to injure him or anything, but just to kind of, have him think twice. And so that's one of the reasons that folks are sitting there and saying that, yeah, he missed that sitter late was because he was cursed from the witch doctor from Ghana.
No, man. But I believe it. I believe in curses. Oh, yes, I do.
Same witch doctor that said he put a curse on Cristiano Ronaldo in 2014.
You see. I'm gonna say this, Johnny. I'm not gonna say that I don't believe in those things, but I want to say that I respect them. I respect whatever it is, whatever the energy, the aura, the whatever it is. I'm gonna respect it because I heard stories and I've seen stories that they're scary, man. They're scary. So yeah, I want to respect that. I'm not saying I don't believe in it. I'm gonna respect it.
Yes, right there with you. Let's see. So we are what 16-ish. Let's see, 16. So we're like 3 weeks away from me having to get down to Orlando. When do we need to start getting all this stuff squared away?
I wanna say I'll send you a WhatsApp tomorrow.
Okay.
Send WhatsApp tomorrow. My buddy is in here now, so I'm gonna send you a WhatsApp tomorrow because we got to do this, brother. This is gonna be the story of the World Cup.
Damn right it is. Nino the Baker's Desserts coming from Lima to Orlando to Atlanta for the World Cup final, the final of finals. The company
Peru is in the finals. Peru will be in the finals.
Yeah, they will, but they'll be at a remote for SDH because it'll be Peruvian desserts that'll be attached to it. I love you very much, my friend. We will catch up soon. Thank you, as always, for your wisdom and your countenance and all the stuff that brings the magic from you on every Thursday. Love you very much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate it, man.
There he goes. Nino the Baker. We are 3 weeks away. 3 weeks away from securing the desserts. We are 3 weeks away. The orchestration will begin where we will have Nino the Baker's Desserts here in this particular part of the footprint for the World Cup final. We're working on logistics. We know it's going to happen. Bottom line. And it is going to be a fantastic and glorious day for those of us that will be partaking. And if you don't follow Nino the Baker on Instagram, the IG or the Gram or the Insta, you should. Because you'll gain 10 pounds from staring at his desserts. This is the Adam's Rib MASH episode that's attached to SDH. That is how we do this. Adam's Rib and MASH. I guess that makes me Hawkeye Pierce and it makes Jason Trapper. I don't know. But the quest for Nino the Baker's Desserts. We are 3 weeks away from going to Orlando and getting everything orchestrated to figure all of this out. So that's where we are. Nino's in Lima, Peru, and that is always great to catch up with him as we go fully loaded on a Thursday. So let's get you into. Oh, look at this! He's showing me in the room. See there, he's showing the desserts.
Look at that, brother.
He's loading in the cooler. He's going to do that in 3 weeks, and we're all going to gain 10 pounds. You're an evil human being. I love you. We'll see you soon. Evil human being. Niko Moreno coming up just around the corner. And if you hear some things going on in and around what's going on with me, it's because things are going around. And we're not going to necessarily tell you everything, but yeah, we have company here in the office. We have company here in the office on multiple fronts. All right, let's get into gossip, rumor, and innuendo before Niko Moreno joins us from Pulso Sports and Sounder at Heart in Seattle, where it is 7:30 in the morning. Gossip, rumor, and innuendo, here we go. All the transfer rumors you ever needed and were fit to print. Manchester United looking at a move for Angus Gunn. Keep an eye on that. United and Arsenal looking for a move for Sporting's Morten Hjulmand. United once again, and this is once again 3-letter paper, Take the information at your own peril and consume it as such. Angus Gunn available on a free after being released from Nottingham Forest. Stock risen after getting the nod to be Scotland's #1 in the World Cup. They're expected to overhaul their keeping department this summer. Onana and Alte Bayendier facing uncertain futures. Gunn is an experienced option. His previous connection with United Director of Football Jason Wilcox, Manchester City's academy, could boost the club's chances of getting a deal done. Sporting captain Morten Hjulmand attracting interest growing from several Premier League clubs. Arsenal and City monitoring his development in Portugal, according to Abola. Danish international reported to be a childhood fan of Arsenal. Might be in the market for midfield reinforcements this summer. Despite his importance, Premier League interest expected to intensify with recruitment. Move to Serie A looking increasingly unlikely. Internazionale and Napoli only realistic options. Do I need to torch my legal pad and just throw it away? Do I just get that out of range? Chelsea have opened talks with Crystal Palace over a move for defender Maxence Lacroix. They want to strengthen their backline this summer, according to Fabrizio Romano. Center back emerged as a key target for the Blues, expected to sign 1 or 2 central defenders, depending on departures. Trevor Chalobah attracting interest from Como. Bruno Fernandes expected to stay at Manchester United despite renewed interest in the Portuguese international from the Saudi Pro League, according to TalkSport. He claimed last year the club, quote, wanted me to go when Al Hilal made a £100 million bid to sign him last summer. 1 Footballer of the Year, 1 Premier League Player of the Season. Seems pretty happy right now. Jared Bowen at West Ham open to joining Everton this summer, according to our friends at Football Insider. England international high on their wish list who are looking to add proven goal scorers. Everton have made initial contact over a deal reportedly open to a switch. Interest grows from West Ham's relegation. Under contract at the club until June of 2030, may command a fee of around £50 million. It's a 5, John, not a 2. Done deals. Activating an option to sign Piero Hincapié on a permanent. Arsenal has from Bayer Leverkusen, the 24-year-old Ecuadorian international. Spent last season on loan at the Emirates. 39 appearances, all comps. Arsenal has won the Premier League title last season. We're going to pause here for a second. We're going to try and figure some stuff out. It's logistics. I wish I had hold music. We need hold music and a full screen here. So you're going to see some stuff happen because we're going to try and do 2 things at once. So I'm going to go on hold and or mute. We ain't going nowhere, so you don't either. And so now we are. What is that? Let's see. Now I got to talk to you about these things.
Go back to
No. Oh, we got to go back to the thing. There.
Yeah.
That.
No, get rid of the overlay.
There we go. Like that. See? Technology.
Yeah, it's always a problem when it comes to John. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
Oh boy. Nico's set to join us in a couple of minutes from Seattle. So, in opening kickoff this morning,
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the crowd last night at Atlanta Stadium. Atlanta Stadium.
I'm alternating names at this point.
Yeah, I know. So when I was talking about it, I thought it was one of the hottest crowds that I've seen in that building, regardless of sport.
Yeah, I mean, I think what was cool about it is it was a split audience. And, you think about the soccer matches we've had there in that building, it's been very one-sided in terms of the audience. Maybe the Campeones Cup 2019, which was a smaller crowd. So it's changed a bit for this game, which was really cool. I think what really impressed me was leaving the stadium, seeing the fans from both teams, both happy, both celebrating, taking pictures with one another. Like, that was where it really felt like a special World Cup atmosphere to me, because you had two fan bases who had never been to Atlanta before and for a match. I hope this turns some heads for sponsors, for the stadium, for the Atlanta Sports Council of, you know what, we can have these kinds of international friendlies and draw a huge crowd because people want to come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Just amazing. Like, it was leaving the stadium and walking out to MARTA and then being on the MARTA train and hearing 3-4 different languages.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
And it was part of the chaos from yesterday. And you got into it in Morning Espresso. By the way, soccerdownhere.net, go down the page a little bit. There's a box. Write your email address in there. Hit send. You get his email every morning. Because I get his email every morning. And for me, it's like a reinforcement of my notes to get ready for everything going on.
It's the newspaper at this point. That's kind of the idea, is for that to get the day started with a written kind of story of what to watch for, what happened the night before. And then this is the talk show. And then Atlanta Soccer Tonight lately has been the other talk show, which is chaotic. So, yeah, it's a lot at the moment, but it's fun.
All right. So takeaways from yesterday, now that we have a voice to attach to the newsletter. What sticks with you from yesterday?
Steve Clark is just, I don't know.
No.
I don't know why Scotland gave him a new contract before the tournament, because he didn't deserve it. He did qualify them. Full credit. That's great. Thank you, Scott McTominay, for eating good tomatoes in Italy rather than, what did he say? The red water from Manchester.
Correct.
It's crazy how they only had one good half in the entire tournament. The first half against Haiti was their only good half. They were way too defensive. You give up early goals against Morocco and against Brazil, two games that you had, 6 months to prepare for?
Yeah.
It's just unacceptable. It's set up poorly. It's a failure. They're probably going to go home. You have to get a goal late. When you fall down 3-0, you have to go get a goal.
Yeah.
You bring on Che Adams in stoppage time for your other striker. It's a like-for-like sub when you have to be aggressive. Very frustrating there. Other things from yesterday, I mean, the Canadian media complaining about having to come to the U.S. to play in the round of 32.
Yeah.
Win your group. That's how it was set up. You couldn't guarantee that if you finished in third place, you'd be able to play in Canada either. You can't reconfigure the tournament because Canada's a co-host. As a co-host, you didn't have to qualify, and you didn't have to go into pot 3 or 4, which is where you would have been. You were a seeded team. You got a cherry kind of a draw, and you didn't take advantage of it. So I don't really have much sympathy there. Switzerland was the better team. Bosnia-Herzegovina, that's what it looks like for the U.S. That's not going to be easy. It is winnable, but it's not going to be easy. Brazil maybe getting going here a little bit. And last night, South Africa with the upset over South Korea. In South Korea, you have to ask questions. The idea of sitting Sonny and bringing him on at halftime, thinking it'd be a tired South Africa team, didn't work. And that might ultimately cost South Korea a spot in the knockout round. And South Africa, full credit, they finally attacked. They finally came out and were aggressive. And look, Steve Clark, you get no props because you didn't do that. And Hugo Bruce, you get props because you actually went for it in a game where you had to go for it. Full credit.
So, and this was a quote that you found. Do you remember the source, the Steve Clark quote?
Which one?
The one where he's kind of...
Oh, that was from his press conference.
That was from the presser.
Yeah.
So, from his press conference, Steve Clark says, quote, Don't forget that this group of players brought these fans to America. This group of players qualified. Otherwise, we're doing what we always do. We're sitting on the sofa and we're watching the World Cup without Scotland. They've had a great time, great ambassadors for the country, but they wouldn't be here without that group of players.
That's true, but that's a really weird thing to say when you fail.
Thanks to me.
Yeah, and he's trying to put it to the players, but it's a weird thing. I don't think the players would say that. I don't think the players would try to take away from what's been one of the great stories of this tournament, and frankly, what's always a great story when Scotland's in a tournament. Their fans are great. Their fans deserve more. Their fans deserve a manager with more ambition, and Steve Clark hasn't been that.
Tonight, as we wait for our friend Niko Moreno to join us from Seattle, tonight it is USMNT.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of questions that are engaged in this. Who do you start? Do you sit all your yellows? What about Christian Pulisic? Do you get him out there to turn the engine over and figure out what's going on? And I will let you have that discussion with our friend Niko Moreno because we can't hear him unless we're wearing a headset.
Well, we might be able to hear him.
Well, but
I did turn that around.
Oh,
so
you did?
could, actually.
Okay.
Well,
all right. So then, fine. We're going to try something here. We're going to try it and be a little different. There he is.
What's up, Niko?
What is going on? What is happening?
We're changing things up. I crashed the party.
Oh, I see that. Very nice. I get the duo today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, old school.
The ultimate duo. All right, I like it. How are you guys doing? First cup of coffee here, just kind of moving things around. I've only been up for an hour, so we're here. We're ready to go.
6:42, wake up call. Boss says, let's go work out. And you're like, yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah, not today. Been a busy week out here in Seattle.
What's your biggest takeaway from yesterday in the tournament?
This is what the World Cup's about. I mean, the Bosnian fans had that thing rocking like La Bombonera or like El Metropolitano. I mean, the chants, the eruption of, euphoria as soon as that first goal goes in. It was absolutely unbelievable. Edin Dzeko is absolute legend. We got to see him interact with the fans after that game. He was signing everybody's jersey. I mean, he must have taken 20, 30 minutes just signing things. He ends up taking off his shirt and I believe put it on his dad. It seemed like his dad was in the crowd. That was pretty cool. In a Bosnia team that, I think that they got unlucky to a certain extent with some of the way the games kind of broke down. If you look at that 4-1 win against Switzerland, or their loss against Switzerland, I mean, the first goal doesn't really hit till the 75th minute. I mean, that's a very even game all the way to the 75th. Then it kind of breaks apart because they got to get out. They got to chase down the game. Johan Masambini gets in and just like gets a brace and just kills that left side. But Bosnia is a very good, interesting team, and I think that they showed it yesterday against Qatar. They were the protagonists. They were the dominant force that we thought they were going to be. They really put Qatar against the ropes. Although I will say that Qatar looked more comfortable against the ropes than I thought that they would, and they ended up getting a couple of goals against the run of play. But overall, it was just phenomenal to see 66,000 plus at Seattle Stadium, something that people were questioning, right? Because everybody thought, hey, the big game's Australia, US, and then after that, we'll just figure it out from there. But man, there was about 5,000, if not 6,000 strong that marched together, I think, from the piers all the way to the stadium. So, man, the Bosnians, they showed out.
When you look at the other half of that group, it was up in Vancouver. And it was the Swiss and Canada, who I think was technically the away side, even though they were playing at BC Place. And all you got to do, even though you were a bit of an underdog, you win it, you get the top seed, but you don't. And we were talking about it before you came on. There are some folks up north, and as I prefaced earlier in the show, I said, look, I've got a lot of friends north of the border. Worked up there, I got a lot of friends. But they are maintaining that they should still have home games, even though they finished second in their group. And this is where I kind of, and Jason was like, no, this is the Dikembe Mutombo finger wag. This is not how this works. You got to win, and you didn't. Unless there's a 2-3 that I didn't know about, or a 3 goes in place, add a 2.
No, the complaint was that the tournament should have been set up that no matter where Canada finished, if they got to the knockout round, they would play in Canada. That's impossible.
Yeah.
You can't do that. And they got so many benefits from being a co-host in terms of seating and all that. You had a chance to just draw, and you couldn't do that. So I don't really have a whole lot of sympathy for having to play what's now a really interesting game for Canada against South Africa.
You can only take advantage of the home field sense and the hosting components of a World Cup if you do the job early, right? I mean, you cannot complain about where you're playing or where you're not when honestly you have been a bit of a disappointment. Game 1, you were disappointed against Bosnia. I thought that you had outplayed for big parts of that game. I think that you get lucky to really get that equalizer in that particular game. I thought yesterday, look, the reality is that I don't want to put it on Canada that they've had so many injuries, because it's been injury after injury after injury. Ismail Kone being the one that just kind of puts you over the top. So going into this game, we were doing the pregame for Fox 13, and the first thing I was looking at is, look, that's another player off that midfield that was already pretty light. And Shornair, right, from LAFC, he came in, tried to do a job, but the lack of quality is evident, and it has been dropping consistently for this team. And if Switzerland has anything, is a pretty interesting and veteran, I will say, midfield, and that's where they operated well. That's where they kind of managed and controlled parts of that game. Yes, Canada had some opportunities in the first half, but Switzerland played their game, and they really understood what the deficiencies from Canada were. So you can't come to me now and say, look, we should be hosting this game or that game or the other game when you haven't been able to bring it on the field. And you had a Jesse Marsh that, he sounded extremely confident to begin this tournament. And if there's something that really bothers me about coaches at times, is that they will there'll be no consistency with what they say, right? He looked super confident at one point. We can do it. We're going to beat the best and da-da-da-da. And now all of a sudden the tournament's not going your way and you have 1,000 excuses. And now you're complaining about things that you shouldn't be complaining about. But overall, I just thought that in yesterday's game, Switzerland was more clinical. They were more purposeful with the position that they did have. I thought that they had no answers for Vargas. They had no answers for Johan. I mean, that team really killed you with those overlaps in those wide areas. And so, I can't say anything other than Switzerland deserved it and Canada didn't.
You mentioned how yesterday was maybe a surprise for some people in Seattle with the crowd for Qatar and Bosnia-Herzegovina. We went through the same thing in Atlanta with Morocco and Haiti, where a lot of people looked at it and said, okay, Spain's gone. What are the crowds really going to be like for these two countries? And it was one of the more split audiences that I've seen in the tournament, probably about 60-40 Morocco, maybe.
Yeah.
Might have been closer to 55-45. What has been the reaction in Seattle to all of the international crowds? And not everybody coming from other countries. A lot of people coming from the United States who are from the diaspora from all of these different countries. How has Seattle reacted?
They've loved it. There's this like 206 pride that you're hearing in every radio station and every TV broadcast, right? There are not casual fans of soccer, but like fans and radio personalities that don't really, they're not afraid of saying, look, I don't like soccer. And now all of a sudden they are watching these watch parties. They're watching the passion, they're watching the marches, they're watching like all of this emotion that goes around with it. And even they are going on air and saying, look, I had no idea that this game went so deep. And it does, right? It really embeds in our cultures and the way we just handle our day-to-day, right? People are taking days off work. People are putting their bank accounts at zero to try to keep up with this ticket prices. So, all of those things are really starting to get the either the casual fan or the fan that was never really a soccer fan. In Seattle overall, there has been another level of community and unity and appreciation for other cultures and things. I was at the Armory, which is the Seattle Center watch party, like right under the Space Needle. And look, I got to tell you, I've never met anyone from Uzbekistan, but I was watching the Colombia Uzbekistan game, and we were like 60 strong Colombians, but there was like 15, 20 from Uzbekistan, and it was kind of interesting just talking to them and seeing the way they approach the game, and that melting pot that is the World Cup. It's really fascinating to me, and I think that everyone, whether you have been just a watch party or one game or another, you get another appreciation for what the sport does. And I think that's the biggest thing that we've seen here in Seattle.
I mean, last night it hit me where they come out of the second hydration breaks and are playing Country Roads in the stadium, but the Haitian band is still playing. And the Haitian band, like I've never been to a Haiti match. So been to plenty Latin team matches where I'm used to the drums. I love that feel. That's how I kind of feel the game. But the Haitians had some horns, they had cymbals, and it was really unique. And that was playing throughout the game. And then Country Roads is going, and they're kind of trying to find a rhythm into that. It was a melting pot of sound that was so amazing.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. Yesterday at the stadium, the game had been over for a good 15 minutes. And the Bostons were still in the stadium, we did the post game, we finished up, we're wrapping up, we're packing up, and all of a sudden I look back and they're chanting and they're just loving it. They don't want to leave the stadium. They don't want to, get rid of this moment, and it was just unbelievable. So watching all these people wrapped in their flags and some with crowns. I wanted to ask somebody what it is about the crowns. There was like people with crowns and stuff. There was just so much that went into it that it really made me appreciate, the different components that soccer brings.
Okay, so now we're both searching Bosnia and Herzegovina soccer crowns as we're going here and try to figure out the rationale.
Yeah, there was a lot of crowns and tiaras, and I was trying to figure out what it was, about it. I don't know. Maybe it was some sort of royalty. I'm kidding. No, there was way too many. But yeah, no, it was just incredible. It was so much fun watching the younger guys. Look, I took a picture of an older couple. I'm gonna say older because I don't want to try to decipher how old they were, but it was a couple, and they were from New York. And I took the picture real quick. I'm trying to get into the stadium, and so it just piqued my interest. I was like, hey, what are you guys doing here? Like, how are you guys fans of the sports? Like, yeah, we love the sport. But what really took us over was we saw some images of the Egyptian fans walking around the streets of Seattle, and we just thought it was so like interesting and different, and it was like this unity of Egyptians, and it seemed like a great city. So we just wanted to come out and check it out, and I thought that was pretty cool. That maybe an older couple that maybe no longer has kids or whatever, and they just decided out of nowhere, like 7 days ago, that hey, look, we're gonna try to go to Seattle. I don't know how they found tickets or what the deal was there, or how much they spent, but it was beautiful. It's almost like a moment for you to be with your countrymen and feel like a little bit of home. Don't know how long they were away from home or whatever, but it was just great.
Jason, John, Nico, Sounder at Heart, Pulso Sports, Q13 up in Seattle, hanging out with us here as he always does to wrap up Thursdays. What other storylines have stuck with you here? Is that we're now in match day 3, heading into day 2 of match day 3. What other storylines are you keeping an eye on today?
Today specifically, just Ecuador not being a bust. I mean, they have been such a disappointment in so many ways. The fan base is asking for the head coach. They have been anemic offensively. And look, Ener Valencia, it's crazy that we're still asking Ener Valencia to do all of these things at this point of his career, but that is what it is. He's had some opportunities. Midfield's been decent enough, but just the quality hasn't been there for Ecuador. And as a South American, I've been concerned of how many busts we've had on the South American level. I mean, we don't have the Brazil of old. Uruguay looks a mess. They're also asking for El Maestro's head in Uruguay. Ecuador's having issues. So I'm glad that Colombia and Argentina are holding the fort for everybody. So that's one. I think Ecuador Germany is it's a fun matchup because Ecuador is always going to play up whenever you're facing a team like Germany because of the badge, because of all the history that comes with Germany. So I think we're going to see a really good game from Ecuador. So that's a big one. But the one for tomorrow for me that I'm really excited about is Egypt. Look, after the first Egypt-Belgium game, I told everyone, I was like, look, man, I thought that Egypt should have won that game. I thought that they allowed Belgium to get back in it. They missed too many opportunities. It could have been 2-0, if not 3-1 at one point in that game. And they didn't because they just didn't have the quality that day. But I said, look, this team could win this group. Like they just look. Omar Marshmoush looks really, really good. I really like what mentality Mo Salah is in. It feels like he knows that this is his last rodeo in a certain sense. He gets the first win in his career in the World Cup, and now he wants to add on to that by finishing strong against Iran. So I'm really interested about what he does for this team and what Egypt can do moving on forward as number one of this group.
As always, my friend, it's great to see you. Hit the promo for me one more time before you're out the door so I can turn over here to the Big 55 and see you on Q13. Hit me.
Yes, so we will have, obviously, on Pulso Sports, you have all of the interviews that we were able to pick up over the week. On Monday, we'll have Lobby's Cultures kickoff on Lobby's Cultures, and we're doing a special What We Learned This Week, FIFA and World Cup centered with Jeremiah Oshan. That's going to come out Monday afternoon. And then on Fox 13, I'll be available after the game between Iran and Egypt. So that should be like 10 o'clock our time because it's an 8 o'clock game here at Seattle Field. So, yeah, go ahead and check that out, man.
As always, my friend, it's great to see you. And do not be a stranger. You know you can crash anytime. And what cup of coffee are you on?
Oh, number one, man. I tell you, I woke up late today. I was like, I've been up only for about an hour. I immediately looked at the clock. I was like, man, I got to get ready for SDH. You know what I mean? Like, make sure let's get everything ready, get the hair done, get some water in my face. So, yeah, first cup of coffee.
As always, my friend, great to see you. We'll catch up with you again next week. Have great calls. May everything make slot. May the IFB work for you on the TV side. We'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
There goes Niko Moreno. All right, time for us to hit the promo. Where are we tonight?
Tonight, the Harvey in Chambly. Great bar that is very, very soccer friendly. Jay Leslie, one of the owners over there, long time with Majestic here in the ADASL. We're going to start hanging out probably about 6 o'clock. Chris Thomas will get you started on 92.9 The Game from 6 to 8. We'll take over. It is a cavalcade of stars. It's an all-star bunch with everybody jumping in. I don't know how this is going to come out. Cross your fingers for me because I'm supposedly playing the number 10 role on this one and setting everybody up. Lots of different folks, lots of different voices will get you ready for the U.S. men's national team and Turkey in a game that doesn't matter, but it does. Yeah. And we'll tell you what matters, and we'll get you set for it.
One more run through the juice boxes. Ivory Coast, a big favorite at 4 o'clock against Curacao at a minus 526. Germany at a minus 159 taking on Ecuador. Those are your 4 o'clockers. 7 o'clock, Japan a favorite at a minus 110 going up against Sweden. Netherlands a minus 833 up against Tunisia, who is a plus 2,700. I don't quite see it.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Nope. Paraguay and Australia, the other matchup in the group with the U.S. Paraguay is a plus 175, so favored, but on the plus side. Australia is a plus 333. The U.S. is a minus 108. That has not changed since we started the show this morning. They're kind of sitting on that. Turkey is a plus 280.
Your biggest crazy pick is Curacao.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I'm looking at as maybe they can pull off some magic.
And we'll see what happens there with Dick Advocat in the end of match day 3, day number 2. Jason, John, thanks for hanging out with us and being patient. We'll catch up with you soon, and maybe something else will pop up sometime soon. We'll let you know. That's what we call a tease in the business. Since it is the end of the show, that means one thing. we get to do this. We'll catch up with you soon. Mucho plata, y'all.